I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, we're into the dog days of summer now. Follow up with that blog I did on the June statistics that the headlines I continue to see, of course, in the mainstream media is that, hey, the Vancouver and Toronto real estate markets are starting to slow. Well, and watch out below, this could be the beginning of a catalyst for lower prices because the prices haven't come down at all. It's just sales activity. And maybe they're right, maybe it is. We've had a fairly tremendous run here, especially in the detached market, which started last spring, the spring of 2020. Condo market picked up earlier this year. Eventually markets cool, folks, as I've often said. You can't go up forever. Eventually it's going to get a little bit of buyer fatigue sets in and prices need to level off or maybe come down 5 or 10% before it takes that next leg up. But of course the headlines are markets cooling, what should you do now? So that's my blog here today. Market slowing down, at least sales activity is. Should I buy? If you're in the market right now, you're pre-approved, what should I do, Owen? Should I wait maybe to the fall or the winter, see if prices come down 5%? Maybe it's a better window. Well, it all depends. It all really depends on your situation. Overall, I would say trying to time a market is a mug's game. Good luck with it. I've often said here, if you're pre-approved, you can comfortably afford the house, hire a realtor, find a home that's suitable for you. If it's a good condo downtown or in Vancouver or Richmond, or I've just had some sales recently out in Brentwood, the market isn't that cold. I mean, you're probably going to get into multiple offers. Sales are down 12% month over month here for the summer. That's sales volume. However, listings are also down. We're up over 50% from sales at this time last summer. And last summer, July and August, was not that slow. We were well out of COVID then. Overall, we're still running about 18% above our 10-year average. So yeah, the sales volumes are slowing a little bit. Is this the catalyst for future decreases and maybe prices coming down? Again, maybe. But what I would suggest you do, again, is if you're pre-approved, you comfortably can afford the house, you find the right home, I would buy sooner rather than later, but it's completely your call. Take advantage of the interest rates we're currently enjoying, which is very near absolute historic lows. As a matter of fact, there are variable rates out there right now that you can get into for about 1%. Renewal rates running at 1.8, 1.9, which is what I'm getting ready to renew one of my investment units at. I was at 2.4. Pretty incredible interest rates. Buy the home and then keep it for a long period of time, at least 8 to 10 years, and that will solve all your problems. Buying a home today, you could very well be down 5 or 10% 2 or 3 years from now. You could also very well be up 5 or 10% from now. But trying to time a market, as I've done so many blogs on, I talked about it in my book, it's incredibly difficult to pull the trigger in a down market because you think it's going down, why not wait another 3 months? It'll go down even further. You're never going to time the bottom there. Focus on the long term, on what homeownership can do for you. Take advantage of the low interest rates. Take advantage of the principal residence exemption. It's the best and only true tax shelter we get. But if you want to wait, it depends again on your situation. So if you're living at home right now, in your parents' home, and you're not paying any rent, and your parents are fine with keeping you there, and you don't mind living there, then if you want to maybe wait for a little better window that may or may not come, that's totally your call. At least there, your costs right now aren't killing you. On the other hand, if you're renting currently and paying market rent, so if it's a one-bedroom condo, you're paying $2,100, $2,200, $2,300 a month to your landlord, well, then I think you should probably have a little more urgency there. And I would advise you to probably get into home ownership and get out of that renter treadmill. But right now, as I speak, sales have come down a little bit month over month. Again, so much of it too is seasonal. We've had some pretty nice weather this summer. It's been a pretty incredible summer weather-wise. Now as we're into August, realtors are taking a bit more of a break. I know I am. And I've had a guy comment on my YouTube channel here, I guess, is the market going down because Owen's hanging out at the pool? Well, in a way, I don't control that much of the market, but you'd be surprised. There's an old saying, realtors make things happen. And people need to understand there's 14,000 realtors in the Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board. Of that 14,000, only about 500 are really making a substantial living in this business. As a matter of fact, Medallion Club, which is the top 10% of realtors, we account for about 70% of the entire business, the top 10%. I can tell you, once you get into my level, which is top 1 or 2%, we are doing the lion's share of the business. So when you get a guy like me and 10 or 20 other realtors like me, because it's kind of a fairly tight-knit group of realtors like myself that are doing a lot of business in downtown Vancouver and east side and west side. When we take a break, hey, it does have an effect on it because we control most of this, we're doing the lion's share of the business. But a lot of it's seasonal. We'll see what happens in the spring. Generally, come mid-September, we should see listings start to come up a bit more, because listings right now are very low, historic low. And then buyers start to come out a little bit more as well. So don't let a little bit of slowing in the summer, convince you that this market's in a downturn. It could be playing possum. It often does slow down at this time of the year. But again, it's nothing that's noticeable. I have had 5 firm deals as I'm doing this blog for July. Of the 5, 4 of them went into multiple offers with me on the listing side, ranging between 3 offers and 8 offers, all sold well above asking. These were on 1-bedroom and some 2-bedroom sales, condos. That doesn't indicate to me it's a slow market. Anyone that's in the market right now knows it's a bit of a waiting game, more buyers than there are sellers. Sales to active listings ratio right now is still close to 35. So that's a strong seller's market. But if you want to wait, if you're living at home, no rent, and if you think that this slowing here might be a foreshadow of things to come later this fall and you're going to get a better price, then it's your call. No problem with it. As a matter of fact, I've got a buyer right now. We've been looking for a little bit, not a lot of inventory right now. He's decided to take a little bit of a break until the fall. Totally understand that. We'll see what happens in the fall. Maybe we get a little bit of a spike in inventory, a few less offers that come in on these multiples because the inventory's up. Maybe it will be a better window. Only time will tell. But I think if you're renting and you're pre-approved at 1.6 or 1.7%, I'd get out of that rental as soon as possible. Get into home ownership. Keep the house. 8 to 10 year minimum, hopefully a lot longer. You'll do far better. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, I'll see you next week.